And now, it's Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on CL 650. Now broadcasting from the Barber & Co. studios. Here's your host, Tyler Grain.
This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk, and we are broadcasting from the Barber & Co. studios. The second half kickoff brought to you by Global Scarves. Producing soccer scarves for over 40 years. Get scarves for your local club, organization, business, or school at globalscarves.com. Check them out today, globalscarves.com. Good evening. My name's Tyler Green, on Twitter at TylerGreenFC. Simon Fudge will be back at 11:30. You can find him on Twitter at SimonFudge74. Still lots to get into in the second half, including a chat with Simon. We'll also hear from Darren Maddox, Carl Robinson, Jordan Harvey, among others. David Sandals in a moment to talk injuries. But first, the scores from Italy presented by Via Tevere Pizzeria Napoletana. And Italy's only action is on Tuesday with the national team taking on Norway in European qualifying for Euro 2016. The Italian scoreboard is presented by the Italian national team and Napoli supporting guys at Via Tevere Pizzeria Napoletana, 1190 Victoria Drive, serving up true wood-fired Neapolitan pizza in East Vancouver. It is absolutely delicious. Time now to chat with expert physios David Sandals in tonight's injury report, brought to you by Expert Physio in Burnaby, online at expertphysio.ca. And joining us on the program is Expert Physio's David Sandals. And David, pretty much most leagues are getting going here. If they haven't started already, they're starting this weekend or next weekend. And you're going to try to keep us all healthy and playing on the field. And let's start by taking, I guess, for granted that people have actually done some training and have ran around a little bit prior to starting the season. I have indeed done some training myself. But leading up to that first match, whether, a couple days before, whether it's the day of, the hour before they actually kick off that game, what do people need to do to prepare for that match, to make sure that they're properly stretched out, they don't pull any muscles, that type of thing? What should people get started with?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of controversy about stretching over the past few years, and there certainly isn't any evidence to show that actually stretching will help prevent injury. What certainly seems to be the way to go now is a progressive warm-up. So, you start off with some light multi-directional activity, whether it be jogging around the field, forwards, backwards, sideways, or karaoke, just something to get the blood flowing and get a little bit of a sort of minor sweat going, and then progress into more of a sort of game situation type of activity, short sprints, passing the ball, running, that kind of thing. Possibly finish with some quick sprints just before kickoff, so you're ready to go. I think we see these guys. Your best player shows up 5 minutes before the game, and of course the players expect him to start. The parents expect him to start. He expects to start, but really you're putting him in a bit of a risk if you put him on right away cold. So I've certainly been the big bad coach and said, you're not starting. You go warm up. When I see you've done a proper warm up, then you can be ready to go. When you watch the pros during the game, it's very, very different from what it used to be a few years ago, where the guys would be sitting sort of scrunched up on the bench in cold, wet weather, and suddenly someone will go down injured, and they'd do a couple of little sort of knees up a couple of times, and they'd be on the field. You see the Whitecaps reserves about every 15 minutes they'll be up. They'll be doing a little warm-up routine. Varies a little bit every 15 minutes of what they do, but basically it's a little bit of getting the blood flowing so that if they are called on, they're ready. Their system is ready to go.
So really, for that starting role, and even if you're a substitute, it's that gradual motion of, moving slower, getting things warmed up, and eventually getting it picked up just that much more.
Yeah. With the stretching, though, I've always kind of felt that players feel that they need to stretch something. Players always feel, my groin's always a bit tight. I like to stretch my groin before the game. And I'm a great proponent of players doing that, because one thing you want people to be is they want to be mentally ready.
Right.
They want to feel like, I've done everything I need to do before I get on the field. I want to feel confident. So just because there may be some research out there that shows that stretching doesn't necessarily prevent injury, is it a good thing for players to do so they feel ready to play? And certainly there are certain areas of the body I like players to stretch, particularly around the pelvis, low back. We call it the pelvic engine. Needs to be moving well when you start running. Certainly stiff hips, stiff pelvises seem to cause problems such as hamstring and quad injuries. So it's a really good idea to make sure those ideas those are, I wouldn't say exactly stretched out, but moving well, moving full range of motion before you play.
Now, once obviously the match ends, I think most people tend to change clothes, grab a beer, and on those cold days kind of jump into a hot shower. What should we actually be doing post-game?
Well, when you're talking post-game, you're talking if you've been working hard during the game, mind. So there's a certain amount of buildup of metabolic byproducts in the muscle. And we know if we haven't really prepared for the season, day one, day two after that first game, we have what we call DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. We're pretty stiff and sore. And that's a buildup of these metabolic byproducts of muscle activity. And basically, get rid of that. It's circulation, circulation, circulation. That's why, hockey players who do these 40-second sprint type activities on the ice, they call it the 40-second game. They'll often be seeing, even between periods, riding the bike. So just light activity, a light jog or walk for 4 or 5 minutes after the game. If you can get the team to do that, it's certainly a help in terms of getting a little bit of extra circulation going without actual any building up any byproducts and starting to remove those things. And certainly the day following a game, feel a bit stiff, it's a good idea to go for a walk or ride a bike lightly. Perhaps put your bike in front of the TV, watch the Premier League. To get rid of any of those sort of buildup of muscle byproducts.
Now, obviously, there's you always see guys taking ice baths. There's the A535 or the Tiger Bombs. Foam rollers are a big thing. Are any of those things? Should you do any of those things, or should some of those things be avoided?
Yeah, the ice baths again. The whole ice controversy that's happening right now, following the research with the rat muscles we discussed a couple of weeks ago. Certainly, it seems that perhaps the ice baths are probably not necessarily the way to go. Certainly, anything recovery is about circulation, and circulation is the transportation system of the body. It brings the good stuff in, takes the good stuff out. So anything you can do with regard to improving that. So rather than taking an ice bath, I think going for a nice walk in the evening might be a much better thing for teams playing in tournaments, that kind of thing. That would probably be a better thing to do. In terms of the A535, I think we used to call it wintergreen a long time ago. Definitely the thing for rugby players. It smells bad. They need to smell bad when they hit the field. It really is a skin stimulant, right. So it gives the impression of warmth. It brings a bit of blood to the skin. It's a little bit of a skin irritant. It doesn't really do anything deep down for the muscles. However, rubbing the I-535 in may actually produce some circulation in the muscles, so that the actual rubbing itself is probably better than the A535. Okay.
And then what about the foam roller? Because I know that's a big thing right now as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big proponent of we call it the stick. It's not exactly a foam roller. It looks like a rolling pin with lots of little rollers on it.
Right.
And again, it's you can massage the muscles, and once you squish the muscle with a foam roller or anything else, if you do it sort of in the direction from further away from the body to closer to the center of the body, you actually are producing some circulation in that direction. And again, a good recovery tool.
Now, David, of course, probably everyone's going to just go out there and do what we said, jump in a hot shower, grab a beer, not do any of that cool down. So obviously they'll need to find you at Expert Physio afterwards and get those injuries worked on. So thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Did you play this weekend?
My game to kick off tomorrow at 4 at Burnaby Lakes. So.
Very best of luck and have a good warm-up.
So I'll give you a call on Sunday night to help me out.
Yeah, you're doing.
Perfect. Thanks, David.
Bye-bye.
David Sandals joining us again, physiotherapist at Expert Physio. If you care about your health, why not work with the experts? Convenient clinics in Burnaby Heights and at 8 rinks. Hey, just down the field from Burnaby Lakes. So if you have some problems, they're right there. For more information on the services they provide, visit expertphysio.ca. Expert Physio, getting you back to full health. I highly recommend them. I've been to them a number of times to get ready for the season and basically to figure out a couple little injuries. We've talked before about my my muscle imbalances that David did the test on me, but you can visit them at expertphysio.ca. And I know that I'm going to be very sore after the game tomorrow. I've played co-ed 5-a-side, but now we're back to the big thing, the 11-a-side, full field. It is going to be a fun time. And David at Expert Physio is going to help me out with that. Get into Kia Vancouver right now. Mention my name. Save $500 more. Just mention Tyler Green from Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk. And Kia Vancouver will give you an extra $500 towards the purchase of a new vehicle. 396 Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon, KiaVancouver.com. Our poll question today, it is the Barber Poll presented by Barber & Co. And if you weigh in, you have a chance to win a gift certificate to Barber & Co., the Gastown location. It's a pretty simple one. Do you have any confidence in any of the Whitecaps forwards? Could be none, it could be some, and a lot of different answers. Seb Steven, 18, weighing in. Mosqueda has the stuff. Love seeing him up top. Creating and getting chances is better than warming the bench. Jay Lam saying the same thing. Mosqueda, the South American flair, would help. From the back line. Great podcast, by the way. I'd give Nicholas Mosqueda, a shot up front. Can't get any worse than this. And in reality, it can't. Because, quite frankly, they haven't scored any goals in 4 games. Pitbull Boy sending us a picture and saying, my man Darren Maddox, because he's got swagger. He just doesn't have any goal scoring right now. Caps_scarf saying Omar, Curvaceous Coast, none, because they got no good forwards. They got no good forwards. Ukrainian Canuck, Salgado deserves the rest of the season up front. Well, he doesn't deserve it per se, but, well, I think he's basically saying it can't get any worse. Caleb on crutches is greater than, greater than Jarju. Mustafa Jarju, I think he would at least have been able to score one at this point. Mitch Williams saying can't be worse than Jarju was. It'll be interesting to see what the Vancouver Whitecaps will do here in the next little while. A game on Wednesday. Darren Maddox, is he available? He's going to represent Jamaica when they play Canada on Tuesday. He could be back. Will he be back? Do you even want him back to play in that game? We'll hear some audio from the Whitecaps locker room when we return, and the manager's rant is next.
Follow us on Twitter at Soccer Talk 650 and at Tyler Green FC. This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on CIL 650.
Pain or injury slowing you down? Take it to the choice of many top athletes, Expert Physio. Serving the Lower Mainland for over 35 years, the team at Expert Physio is dedicated to individualized care with specialized services such as orthotics, acupuncture, IMS, plus dizziness, pelvic floor, and certified hand therapies. Over 300 physicians referred to Expert Physio last year, and 100% of patients surveyed said they choose Expert Physio again. You're in good hands with Expert Physio. Burnaby Heights or at 8 rinks, expertphysio.ca.
Not that your stylist at the salon isn't doing a good job, but man, you deserve the big red leather barber chair experience of Barber & Co. Here's how it works. Go to barberandco.ca. Book your appointment at one of the 4 barbershops in Gastown, Yaletown, the Financial District, or Cambie and 18th. You can just walk in, too, and get your hair cut, hot shave, buzz cut, fade, or beard trim experience. A great wedding party idea, too. barberandco.ca.
Nearly 70 years ago, Charlie Wolford first started fixing loggers' boots. He did such a good job, loggers said if he'd make boots from scratch, they'd buy them and tell their buddies. Charlie named his brand Dayton, and ever since, Dayton Boots has put the same craftsmanship and love in every pair built right here in Vancouver. Times change, but the quality in every handcrafted pair of Dayton boots never has. Mention Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk and take 10% off Dayton Boots, 2250 East Hastings. Dayton, where a legend that lasts.
The 2015s have arrived at Kia Vancouver, so come score a 2015 with ultra-low weekly payments, 0 down and 0% financing for 84 months, or a huge clear-out deal with up to $7,000 in cash rebates on select 2014 models with their no-bull pricing. But hurry, limited-time offer at Kia Vancouver, Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon.
And remember, only Kia Vancouver gives you free lifetime car washes, oil changes, and free airport shuttle and parking with your new Kia purchase.
Welcome to Rogers Tech Talk.
Summer is almost over, and I'm completely bummed out about it.
I hear you. But here's some news that might just cheer you up. You know we have a huge selection of hot new phones.
Yeah, of course.
But did you know that right now all Rogers customers can get one for under $100 on a Share Everything plan?
Oh, just in time for school.
So you're a little less bummed?
Pleasantly bummed.
Offer valid on 2-year Share Everything plans. Hurry into your Rogers store today.
Follow us on Twitter at Soccer Talk 650 and at Tyler Green FC. This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on Sea Isle 650. Here's your host, Tyler Green.
The summer months were not kind to the Vancouver Whitecaps. Specifically in July and August, the Whitecaps claimed just 11 points out of a possible 30. And historically, the Whitecaps have not been very good in the summer, claiming 11 points in both 2012 and 2013. The Whitecaps have argued that this year is going to be different. But it wasn't. They got another 11 points in the summer. But they say this team's going to be different. They've got a new coach. They've got a new look roster. But that's all just a lot of public relations speak. History has repeated itself, and so I'm not really expecting a lot of big things for the Vancouver Whitecaps after September 1st, and well, they've started out, well, with a single point. Last season, they managed to claim 44% of available points in 2011, and 2012, they captured just 29% of those points. Starting off with 1 point in September down the stretch is not the way to go if you want to make the playoffs. And despite the fact that the Whitecaps have a lot of young talent, they're just not seeing the back of the net right now. Eric Hurtado, well, he had a hot streak. He scored 4 goals in 4 matches, and many thought this was going to be his breakout performance, and he was going to be incredible. But as quickly as those goals came, well, they've disappeared and dried up fairly quickly. 12 matches in games that he's participated in without a goal since his last one. And possibly even worse for Eric Hurtado, he's only managed 5 shots on target in those 12 games. Darren Maddox, meanwhile, has 6 goals this year, which seems to be about his average, and we're still a long way off from the self-proclaimed 20-goal season, and somebody just tweeted us saying, did he mean that was prorated over 10 seasons? It's just something that keeps happening, and the Whitecaps, unfortunately, just have not been able to put the ball in the net. And I'm not sure who has the ability to. Does Omar Salgado? Or does he even deserve to start with some of his practice antics and, well, game playing antics at times? Darren Maddox is a guy that just walks back and doesn't necessarily look that he's too interested. I talked about why I don't think it should be Eric Hurtado. Could Kakuta Mane possibly be the guy up front for the Vancouver Whitecaps? Who knows? But they better find out, and they better find out soon, because unfortunately for the Vancouver Whitecaps, they are almost out of games. And as soon as they run out of games, they may run out of chances to make the Major League Soccer playoffs. And goal scoring is the big issue, and it has been the biggest issue all season long. And it leads us to tonight's Barber Poll, brought to you by Barber & Co. Get the authentic straight razor shave or haircut, whatever you need. Hit up barberandco.ca. Do you have confidence in any Whitecaps forward? Tweet us your thoughts at SoccerTalk650, at Tyler Green FC. A few people weighing in here. The Bretness, I believe in Jordan Harvey. Only player on the team willing to attack with commitment. Jordan Harvey, there were times when Jordan Harvey was further up the field than some of the forwards, diving for headers. We didn't see any of that from some of those Whitecaps forwards that were playing tonight. Caps_scarf saying, don't forget about Waston. He also up there. Dangerous on set pieces, and it would be great. And Carl Robinson talked about this earlier in the week. That as much as it is on the forwards to score goals, they need something from somebody else. They need something from a defender, off a set play, off a set piece, whether it's a free kick, whether it's a corner. They need a goal scored from open play from a midfielder. They have just not gotten that from anybody. Sure, Pedro Morales was leading the team in goals, but a lot of those goals came from the penalty spot. He hasn't scored a lot of those goals from open play. So the Whitecaps, they need something. They need something in order to, in order to get some goals, because they need some points, and they need those points. They need those points desperately right now. Darren Maddox spoke to the media post-game, a player that's under a lot of scrutiny. Basically, he said after the game, and you know, this is something that, well, I'll let you hear the comments from Darren. Here's what Darren Maddox had to say post-game.
You know, the best players in the world sometimes are doing everything right, and then sometimes the finish just isn't there. I'm creating so many chances right now for the team. The team is creating so many chances, and sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. And at the moment, it's just not going in. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing, and it's going to go in eventually. Yeah, you got to keep doing what you're doing, but eventually you have to start scoring and creating chances. You only had 3 shots that hit the target. That's not creating enough chances, in my opinion. You have to make that other team work. They had 3 shots on target and 2 shots blocked. If they had 10 shots blocked in this game, or they forced Bill Hamid to make 10 saves, I would say they are creating some good chances on target. But they're just not creating those right now. Darren Maddox, he's being scrutinized a lot right now, not only for his misses, but also just some of the lack of soccer IQ right now, where to be, tracking back. He's often seen walking back from an offside position when the play gets turned around. Get back into position. Your team's working hard to try to fight to get that ball back. Get back and back into the play and create an opportunity for the rest of your teammates. Don't just walk back. Will he be available on Wednesday? Who knows? He'll be back in town. He'll have played for Jamaica, possibly on Tuesday against Canada in a friendly. He's flying back on Wednesday and should be back
in time for the game. But does he even deserve to play on Wednesday? I would say no. And I would think most people say no, he doesn't deserve another shot on the field on Wednesday against San Jose. It is our poll question again, by the way. What, if any, do you have any confidence in any Whitecaps forward? It is brought to you by Barber & Co. Get the authentic straight razor shave or a haircut, whatever you need, barberandco.ca. And you can tweet us, Soccer Talk 650, at Tyler Green FC, and at Barber & Co. This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on CL 650 Radio in Vancouver. We are broadcasting from the Barber & Co. studios. Free lifetime car washes, oil changes, and get this, free lifetime airport shuttle and parking service, Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon, KiaVancouver.com. We will hear audio from Mauro Rosales, Carl Robinson, and Jordan Harvey. But Simon Fudge is up next. We'll talk more about this Whitecaps game, a scoreless draw versus DC United. All that coming up next.
Follow us on Twitter at Soccer Talk 650 and at Tyler Green FC. This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on CL 650.
Whether playing soccer on this continent or football on every other, Umbro is the name worn by top players and teams worldwide. Those same uniforms are available for your team or club at Umbro.com. Umbro, proud to be the official supplier of Canada's men's and women's national teams, is celebrating 90 years of expertise in the game. If you want your club to play like the pros, dress them like the pros at Umbro.com. Umbro, the heart and soul of football.
Vancouver Street Soccer League is the beautiful game at its finest. Teams of men and women who are homeless, have recently been homeless, or are at risk for homelessness get together to train and play matches. It's great fun that builds skill and confidence, and the league sent players to 4 consecutive Homeless World Cups in Milan, Rio de Janeiro, Paris, Mexico City, and Poland. Find out more at VancouverStreetSoccer.com.
Vancouver Street Soccer League. Get into it and get behind it.
The 2015s have arrived at Kia Vancouver, so come score a 2015 with ultra-low weekly payments, 0 down and 0% financing for 84 months, or a huge clear-out deal with up to $7,000 in cash rebates on select 2014 models with their no-bull pricing. But hurry, limited-time offer at Kia Vancouver, Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon.
And remember, only Kia Vancouver gives you free lifetime car washes, oil changes, and free airport shuttle and parking with your new Kia purchase.
The Straight Razor Shave, a leading man classic. Steady hand coaxing the rugged face back to smoothness. This nearly lost art has found revival at Barber & Co. Hot towels, straight edge blade, and your face. It's an experience that reminds you you're alive. You're a man in the company of history's finest men. Start at barberandco.ca. Pick your barber shop in Yaletown, Gastown, the Financial District, or Cambie and 18th, and relax into the big leather chair for the shave of your life.
This is Erin Sabula for BC Children's Hospital Dream Lottery, hoping you'll get your tickets before it's too late. Last year sold out early, and this year, with 5 incredible grand prize homes or $2 million cash, it could happen again. Don't wait. Visit bcchildren.com and get your tickets now. Tickets at London Drugs or bcchildren.com.
Let's dream, dream big, and there's smiles all around.
Ticket buyers must be 19 or older. Know your limit, play within.
This is Kia Vancouver's Soccer Talk on CL 650. Now broadcasting from the Barber & Co. studios. Here's your host, Tyler Green.
Kia Vancouver, 396 Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon, KiaVancouver.com. I'm driving a new Kia Sorento. You can too. And you can save $500 when you mention my name only at Kia Vancouver. The Whitecaps, a 0-0 draw against DC United tonight at BC Place Stadium. Simon Fudge, contributor on the program, also writes for Goal.com, will join us in just a minute. But first, let's hear from Carl Robinson, who spoke to the media after the game and gave us his thoughts on the match?
I thought we played very well. I think we at times we played some very good stuff. At times we looked a little bit open, but that's going to happen with the shape that we played. But I thought we created a little bit more chances, which we're used to seeing. But unfortunately, we didn't take them. I thought Seb had come into little pockets very well and created a little bit of space for Darren, who ran in behind quite well. But it just wasn't to be.
Simon, there you have it. He's saying, thought they played well, and for stretches they did. They did create. They did move the ball around very well. You know what? They only had 3 shots on target, though. 2 were blocked. For me, if you're creating a lot, I think you have to work the goalkeeper a lot more. I'm wanting Bill Hamid to have broken a massive sweat tonight. That's how I know that the Whitecaps created a lot of chances. But again, they get the clean sheet. They didn't offer. They looked a little all over the place on defense at times, but I thought overall they, it was a good enough game where they should have been able to pick up 3 points. But again, they don't. They just get the single point. What were your thoughts on the game tonight?
Yeah, I think it was very similar for me. The one good thing was that there was some good energy, and I actually did think that the formation that they played in the Diamond 4-4-2 just offered a little bit of a different amount of movement in the team. I thought it kind of freed them up a little bit, especially in the first half, and it just looked a little bit more promising that they may have the ability to unlock DC United, even at halftime, that just with the formation that they had and the players out there, they were getting a bit of a different look and a feel, and that something may come from that. But once they came back after the break, the life in the game and the life in their play just wasn't at the same level, and it made it far too predictable and far too comfortable for DC United. The thing for me, and I asked this of Carl in the press conference, was is concern about the team actually just not actually taking enough shots on goal. They did, as you said, Bill Hamid did not get tested enough tonight, and you can't test a goalkeeper unless you put shots on target. And there weren't enough efforts tonight, despite the fact that the statistics say that they attempted 15 shots. They just didn't get enough on target for me, particularly late in the game when they were pressed up on the top of the DC United box and they were trying to play through their back line to get in behind them and create some very close-range chances. There's been too much of that type of attacking play, which is more of a desperation to try and open things up in that manner from the Whitecaps of late, than trying to maybe create something from what even maybe looks like an innocuous half chance of shooting from distance. They need to think more about trying to put more shots on target. We need to see more from that of Morales and Rosales, as well as the strikers, and peppering the goal when the opportunity presents itself.
Now you look at this team, and it's an issue that's been around since Camilo left. Who's going to score the goals? And they've had guys, up front that have scored in bunches. Eric Hurtado scored 4. And then he's disappeared. Darren Maddox is at 6 right now, and that's pretty much his average over the seasons that he's scored. Kakuta Mane had a little bit hot streak, and then that was over. Pedro Morales is their leading goal scorer, but he's scored a lot of PK goals. And as much as the forwards are getting, ripped pretty much, and it is our barber pole tonight, they need goal scoring from some other options as well. Kendall Waston is looking like he might have one in him, but they need something off a set play, off open play from a midfielder. They need some sort of goal from somebody, don't they? As much as we are harping on the forwards, somebody else has to step up at some point.
You're right, and certainly Kendall Waston was presented with no better of an opportunity than the one late in the first half, for which, unbeknownst to me and only to him, he was unmarked in the 6-yard box, and somehow he couldn't connect with that very good free kick that Pedro Morales whipped in, right sort of towards the far post. It was that was the type of chance that we were thought were his kind of meat and drink to get on the end of as an attacker, and he didn't take advantage of any of that tonight. I mean, that was a big opportunity missed, and then there were other instances where he tried to get on his head on things and really just couldn't direct things on goal. You're right. A goal has to come from somewhere. There has to be a willingness, a bit of bravery at times to maybe try and create something from nothing. Sebastian Fernandez earlier in the season had that confidence of, you know what, if it presents itself, I'm going to have a strike at goal. We haven't really seen something from that of late from someone like him, and we need to see again more of that. And it has to come from anyone that's willing to take a shot or willing to take a chance when it presents itself. And you can sort of turn around and say, everybody's got to take responsibility here, but right now no one has been able to sort of pick up the slack and deliver, and it just leaves everybody at a loss, probably including the players themselves.
Now the Whitecaps, obviously, Darren Maddox is going off on international duty to Jamaica. Do we know if he's going to be back in time? And secondly, do we even care if he's back on time? Do you even want to see him on the field on Wednesday?
Well, I mean, I think it might actually quite depend on if his flight after that game on Tuesday brings him back, and of course how much playing time and what kind of game he ends up getting involved in. So,
besides that, Simon, do you even care if he's back?
Do I care if he's back?
Do you want him to see him on the field?
I think they need to try something different for sure. And, I don't know why someone like Omar Salgado, for as much as he's been somewhat maligned for his attitude, has not been given the chance to be given a bit of a proper run. Everybody else has, so why not Salgado? I mean, really, if you think about it, has this player been given more than a fair chance this season to really show that he could be the difference? Maybe Wednesday night is that opportunity, and maybe he gets that chance. I think at this point, it wouldn't surprise me if Carl Robinson is sort of thinking, well, we've got to try something different, or we've got to try a different approach, or just think about it in a different way. If that's the case, then I think all kinds of options and theories and potential lineup changes and whatnot are on the table, because they've tried this, they've tried that, they've tried the third option, the fourth option, and the fifth option at this point, this combination, that combination, and it just doesn't seem to be working right now. I wouldn't miss Darren Maddox on Wednesday at all. He had his chance tonight to convince that he was going to be capable of scoring and then score goals going forward here in the remaining 8 games. And for me, it's just the chance that he missed with 12 minutes into the game with an open net. I know the ball bounced up on him, but good goal scorers know how to get their foot over top of the ball and put the thing on target. He didn't do that. Yeah, I think he's had his run, and he should be sat down, and I think it should go to the likes of a Mane and a Salgado maybe to get a chance to go out there and do something against San Jose.
We're talking with Simon Fudge here on Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk. I'm broadcasting from the Barber & Co. studios here in Richmond in CL 650. Simon's at BC Place Stadium following the game. He went downstairs, talked to some of the players, including Mauro Rosales, who once again, Simon, showed what he can do on the field, his soccer IQ. You were one of the many media members that spoke to him. Here's what Mauro Rosales had to say post-game.
I think we did a very good job coming back from the last game that we did. We fixed many things, and the mentality of the team, just stepping out with concentration, being focused. We create many chances to score. We just have to be more calm in the last part of the situation that we create, and we will be okay. We did a very good job. We play against the top of the conference, and we show that against any team we can be a dangerous team, and we can be also one of the best. But we need to score. We take the point that we got today, but also we a little bit disappointed about the end of the game, but I think we could take the 3 points today.
How frustrating is it to have such a good game as a club, but not get any finish in the end, ending as a 0-0 draw?
Yeah, this is what I told you. We are really disappointed. We were playing against a top team. We are playing against the top team in the other conference, and we still are disappointed because we just got 1 point. We should take the 3 today. The chances that we generate seems like it was enough to score 1 goal, but we have to just be positive for the next game and try to be more calm in the last part of the field. But with this concentration, with this aggressiveness, we can move forward.
Did you think the 4-4-2 formation, especially with the diamond and you playing on the right-hand side of that worked well, especially with some of the movement you were able to get tonight?
Feel good in the diamonds and in the 4-4-2. Probably in the 4-4-2 I have more help from the contention, the guys playing in the middle. Playing in the diamonds is just myself, just covering more space. Probably is taking me down a little bit more because I have to go and defend and be close to the defenders. But both tactics are working good for me. Today I had my space, I had my chances too. But it's just being smart with the team and try to be in the position to hurt the other team, and have to find it in that way. If it is in the diamond, or if it is in the 4-4-2 formation, I just have to be smart to be in the position that is going to help the team, is going to rise the level of the team.
Do you think the team around you felt comfortable in the formation?
I
there
feel
seemed to be some good movement as well.
You just have to ask them, and I feel comfortable playing with them, and we just have like 4 or 5 practice to understand each other, not more than that. But I think we did, and we play a very good soccer.
Is it a case of the young strikers playing more and thinking less? Like it seems like they're maybe getting nervous at the critical moments. You haven't been here for very long, but what have you seen from them?
I've been in that situation too, and I'm sure that they're gonna get it anytime. They need time. They need be in that position as many times as they need it, just to get better. And the time that one is going in, it's gonna come one and another. We just have to be patient with them, just trying to give as many options as we can, and be positive. I believe they are very good players. I believe that they're going to have the chances in any time, and we just have to be with them, just keep them positive, because after losing chances and chances, probably the confidence is not getting up, it's just getting down. We just have to let them know that we are with them. We are with them and we support, and we lost together and we win together. This is the way like soccer works.
There's Mar Rosales speaking to the media post-game, and another one of those guys, Simon. I think you kind of hear it a little bit that he kind of tells it like it is. They played well, but they still need to finish things off here a little bit to make sure that they get the results that they need.
Yeah, they do. I was actually quite impressed with his analysis of the game. I mean, you can definitely tell what they have in Rosales is someone who has a very good understanding of the game, someone with a lot of experience, and someone who can sort of see how things are unfolding and what's missing and what needs to be improved on. I thought it was particularly interesting what he said about the fact that he wished he kind of joined the team sooner and whatnot. That says to me that he saw even himself the potential of what the team has, and if he'd been able to be part of it maybe earlier in the season or maybe at the beginning of the season, just how different it might have been than having only just joined them a little over 2 weeks ago. And
now, Simon,
left in the season.
Simon, you mentioned it there, the potential that this team has, and we've heard all about the potential from Carl Robinson all season long.
Yeah.
It's time for these guys to start showing the potential, and for these guys to start finishing chances, scoring goals, and the Whitecaps haven't been able to do that. So whose fault is that? Is that the players' fault for just not being good enough? Is that the coaching team's fault for not getting these players ready and prepared enough to be able to score goals? Who really should be held accountable for these type of things?
Well, I think I could almost say the sort of cliche thing of saying that it's everybody's responsibility, because it would be very hard for me to think that the coaching staff would have neglected working on the attacking way that this team would play. I think a lot of, in this case for me more than anything, the responsibility of the struggles for this team scoring goals really rests with the players and the players themselves. It's incumbent upon them to be able to take on board the amount of instruction that they need and experience that they have, and what they need to understand in terms of continuing to improve and continuing to learn and continuing to get better, not think that they've already made it. I keep thinking back to actually our very first episode of Soccer Talk when Alan Arrington said, I think right on that very first show on March 1st, about some of these players sort of thinking they've already made it, and that they haven't actually really gone through the process of really grown themselves into being a proven player. Is that not something that we could label against the Darren Maddox and Eric Hurtado and a Kakuta Mane, even Omar Salgados, to say that these players have been given sort of the impression that they've kind of almost already made it despite their young, impressionable ages, and even having done a little bit of good work and had a little bit of success, it's kind of gone to their heads. Do we not sort of turn around and say that they need to be almost sat down and given a sobering bit of reality that they haven't made it yet, and that they've still got a lot of work to do if they really want to be the kind of player that they think they may already be right now? I think in a lot of ways the responsibility, certainly for the issues right now, probably more of the thing rests with the players.
Well, Simon, we'll take a brief timeout. We'll return with Hot Fudge, so just hang on the line here for a second.
Will do.
For me, I look at it and I think, hey, the question was asked in the press conference with Carl Robinson about scoring, and these guys haven't been able to score. And has he been in sort of that situation? Kind of laughed it off and said, hey, I'm not a player that ever really scored goals, so I wasn't in that situation. And I look down the roster, and it's of the coaching staff, and I think to myself, where is the guy that is basically teaching these players how to score? Where is, you look at a football team. They've got a quarterbacks coach. They've got a running backs coach. They've got a receivers coach. They've got an O-line coach. They've got a coach for every position. Which former striker is teaching these players how to put the ball in the back of the net? And that is still something that I think the Whitecaps are missing, and I think maybe potentially need to get in very, very quickly. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. After the break, we'll hear from Jordan Harvey. We'll also get the final cut and find out who our winner is of the Barber poll, who's walking away with a gift certificate to Barber & Co. As well, it's the segment everybody wants to hear, Hot Fudge.
Follow us on Twitter at Soccer Talk 650 and at Tyler Green FC. This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on CIL 650.
Held high above the heads of soccer supporters everywhere, the soccer scarf is a world-class icon of support, and Global Scarves can turn it into a high-profit, high-visibility, high-spirited fundraising idea for your club, organization, or school. Global Scarves has been producing high-quality, UK-knitted soccer scarves for over 40 years. They offer low prices for fundraising groups with no sacrifice on quality. A welcome change from chocolate. Find out more about Global Scarves. Contact Brad at globalscarves.com or visit globalscarves.com.
The Vancouver Street Soccer League isn't out to change the world. Just give the men and women in our homeless communities a chance to play soccer. Regardless of skill, everyone's included in practices and matches with teams from UBC, the Vancouver Police Department, the Vancouver Mayor's Office, and more. The focus is fun, but it builds skill and confidence, and that can change someone's world. Find out more at vancouverstreetsoccer.com.
Vancouver Street Soccer League. Get into it and get behind it. And let's change the world.
The 2015s have arrived at Kia Vancouver, so come score a 2015 with ultra-low weekly payments, 0 down and 0% financing for 84 months, or a huge clear-out deal with up to $7,000 in cash rebates on select 2014 models with their no-bull pricing. But hurry, limited time offer at Kia Vancouver, Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon.
And remember, only Kia Vancouver gives you free lifetime car washes, oil changes, and free airport shuttle and parking with your new Kia purchase.
Not that your stylist at the salon isn't doing a good job, but man, you deserve the big red leather barber chair experience of Barber & Co. Here's how it works. Go to barberandco.ca. Book your appointment at one of the 4 barbershops in Gastown, Yaletown, the Financial District, or Cambie and 18th. You can just walk in, too, and get your hair cut, hot shave, buzz cut, fade, or beard trim experience. A great wedding party idea, too. barberandco.ca.
Money. It's your money with Fred Snyder.
You take 100 people to start at Equal today. At the age of 25, by the time they end up at 65, 1 is rich or well-to-do, 5 are still working, 36 are dead, and the rest might just as well be dead. There's 54 of them. They're dead broke, dependent on family and state. And the main reason is they don't have the knowledge, they didn't have the financial plan, and we're providing you with all that here on this show.
Fred Snyder, Sunday mornings 9 to 11 on Smooth and Easy, CIAL 650. This is Kia Vancouver's Soccer Talk on CIAL 650. Now broadcasting from the Barber & Co. studios. Here's your host, Tyler Green.
Only at Kia Vancouver. Free lifetime car washes, oil changes, and get this, free lifetime airport shuttle and parking. And if you mention my name, Tyler from Soccer Talk sent you an extra $500 savings on the purchase of a new vehicle. Only at Kia Vancouver, Southwest Marine Drive at Yukon, KiaVancouver.com.
Oh, baby. Hot fudge with Simon Fudge.
All right, Simon, what do you got for us this week on Hot Fudge?
Well, the local soccer season has just started. It was a big day today, the VMSL Premier Division. All 6 games were played at Cloverath Dale. My teams were play tomorrow. Big doubleheader at Hillcrest Park by Nat Bailey Stadium. I want everybody to go out and support local soccer the rest of this weekend and every weekend going through the whole winter. Find out where your local team is, get behind them, and support them all the way. That's what I want you to do. Go out and support local soccer.
There you go, Simon. You're playing out at near Hillcrest. I'm at Burnaby Lakes, so hopefully we get some people out there watching the games. Thanks. We'll talk to you again in studio next weekend. We're back together in studio.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait. Simon Fudge, thanks again. We'll talk to Simon next week here on Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk. It is time for the final cut, brought to you by Barber & Co. on Twitter at Barber & Co. 4 full-service barber shops for your big haircut, hot shave, buzz cut, fade, and beard trim. Get the ultimate barbershop experience. 4 locations to serve you in Gastown, Yaletown, the Financial District, or the new location at Cambie and 18th, barberandco.ca. And today, Olivier Aymir saying not unless they move Waston to striker, then he's got some confidence in the forward core of the Vancouver Whitecaps. You are a lucky winner today of a Barber & Co. GC to the Gastown location. Congratulations, Olivier. And Jordan Harvey has the final word on the program, and really the magic number is 0. The Whitecaps, if they get 0 goals, they're very likely going to get 0 points. And if they want to make a spot in the MLS playoffs or a Champions League spot in 2015, they need to start scoring and winning some games. Here's what Jordan Harvey had to say.
You know, I think we're even, with Portland right now. So it's just going to be a battle down the stretch. We got to win more than we lose and get some points. Like I said, we're playing well. We just need to be a little bit more clinical in front of the net, and that includes everybody. Everybody on the field, I feel like, had a chance tonight. I had a few, so that's everybody.
For the crew here at Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk, my co-host Simon Fudge, executive producer Christina, producer Greg the Hammer Ballack, with a special thank you to Thomas Rage and Fred and Co. My name's Tyler Green. Read me in 24 hours on Wednesday. Thank you for listening to the program. You can download the podcast at CIL650.com. Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk returns next Saturday at 10. The Beatles are next.
Follow us on Twitter at Soccer Talk 650 and at Tyler Green FC. This is Kia Vancouver Soccer Talk on CIL 650.